Okay, it is 6 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started. Mrs. Henderson, if you'll take roll.
Mrs. Horn,
Here.
Mr. Chitwood,
Sorry, here.
Mrs. Baker,
Here.
Mrs. Coleman Martinet, here, Mr. Hull,
Here.
Mr. Beecham,
Here.
Mr. Miller. We have a quorum.
Great, thank you so much. Up next, approval of the agenda.
Madam President, I'm actually going to move to approve the agenda with a modification of moving consent item 14, asphalt for Spring Hill Elementary School playground to discussion item, discussion item 4, new item 4.
Great, thank you. We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any questions, comments? Mrs. Henderson, please collect the vote.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman Martinet,
Yes.
Mr. Hull,
Yes.
Mr. Beecham,
Yes.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
approved.
Thank you so much. Up next, if everybody will rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and if you have a hat on, please pull it out.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we start off each meeting by reading our mission and vision statement. Our mission is to be a school district that engages students to learn, create, adapt, and succeed in an ever-changing world. And our vision is to maintain small town values and empower each student to achieve world-class success. Business with individuals.
One card was presented.
Thank you so much. We have one card. Christina Ballou, if you'll come up. And just a reminder, you'll have 3 minutes, and we don't hear any personal complaints concerning student, employee, or group of employee during open session. And if you want, you can step over and use the podium if that's easier.
I'm okay. Can you
Okay.
hear me, or can I raise this up before my?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can raise it. Yes.
Oh, there we go. All right, thank you. Okay, well, hello. Thank you for allowing me to speak here tonight. My name is Christina Ballou. I live in Olathe. My daughter is a student at Spring Hill High School. We recently received our school yearbook, and I was excited to see it because I knew there would be an article in it about my daughter. As I started looking through the book, I noticed that all of the students were identified using they, them pronouns, which struck me as odd that it was all. Then I got to the article about my daughter, and I saw that she was also being referred to by they, them. After speaking to my daughter, I found out that the article was originally written with her correct she, her pronouns, but the author did tell her that the article would be edited and her pronouns would be switched to they, them. When she heard this, she went to the yearbook advisor and specifically requested that the pronouns that reflect her biology, her she, her pronouns, remain in the article. She was met with doubt, so trying to be accommodating, my daughter offered that they could just use her name and leave out pronouns. Well, you can see the results. The article was edited and her pronouns were switched to they, them. They, them pronouns are not default pronouns. They are used by people who identify as non-binary. My daughter was called they, or some form of that word, about 21 times in the yearbook. She was identified as non-binary against her will 21 times in her high school yearbook. My daughter's First Amendment rights were trampled. Her specific request was ignored, and she was intentionally and publicly misrepresented. To ban or prohibit the use of male and female pronouns is sex-based discrimination. I assume that this was someone's attempt at inclusion. We moved here last year from Lawrence, Kansas, and I worked in the school system there where they put a huge emphasis on inclusion. Yet they would never force they, them pronouns on an entire student population, especially when requested not to by a student. They would respect student preferences at least. This is not inclusion. It's the opposite. It's exclusion. It's discrimination. I contacted all of the administrators at the high school to express my concern and frustration. And the advice I was given was to take it up with the group of students at the school who form the yearbook staff, because they write their own manual for yearbook policies. This issue is bigger than that, than pleading my case to a small group of students at the school who decided it was okay to take away my daughter's right, her basic and God-given right to be identified as female. The students of Spring Hill High School should not be neutered and have their gender stripped from them for the sake of some misguided attempt at inclusion. I hope you agree. Thank you.
Sorry, before you go, can you tell me what page that's on? I actually have the yearbook at my house. I just haven't had a chance to read through all the articles.
It's the entire book for all the students.
Okay.
My daughter's specific article is
Your daughter.
it's 2-page.
What page is that one?
I think it's 103.
103.
It's hard to tell by the print, but I think it's 103. And then there's another article, a small article with her in it. It's also, but it's really all the students with the exception of direct quotes.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Up next is the consent agenda. In there is approval of the minutes, personnel, clerk's report, treasurer's report, payroll and claims, an MOU with Infant Toddler Services of Johnson County, an MOU with Gardner Edgerton School District, policy recommendations, Microsoft licensing renewal, subscription renewal with Everway, an MOU with Mid-American Nazarene University, adoption and purchase of resources for advanced placement in College Now courses, an instrument purchase, and we move the other one. That is everything in the consent agenda.
Madam President, I'm going to move to approve the consent agenda as read.
Thank you. We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any other conversation or questions? Okay, Mrs. Henderson, will you collect the vote?
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman Martinet, yes,
Mr. Hull,
Yes.
Mr. Beecham,
Yes.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
approved.
Great. Thank you so much. And now good news, recognitions and announcements.
Hello, good evening, everybody. We do have one student group here for us to recognize. Excuse me, and before I invite them up, I do want to give an official shout out and recognition for Kaylee Howell, who unfortunately wasn't able to be here. We tried over the last several weeks to get a time worked up, but she's a very busy person and it wasn't able to take place. But I did want to share that earlier this summer in one of the national tournaments in debate, Kaylee performed, we believe, the highest in the history of Spring Hill High School, where in a tournament in Washington, D.C., she broke into the finals and ended up placing 6th overall out of 188 total competitors. So if you get the chance to see Kaylee or her family out in the community, absolutely congratulate her for that fantastic performance. Now, that said, we do have another student group here, and I am going to invite Miss Wendell up to the front to share some of the cool things that our kids accomplished at the International Thespian Festival earlier this summer.
Good evening. We had a wonderful week in June at the International Thespian Festival. We had 3 groups qualify. We had a solo musical theater and a duet acting scene and a scenic design. Out of those, we had some fantastic ratings. I would like to invite up some of those students to come on up here. Not all of them could be here today, but they all compete in these individual events, and then they are rated using our system. The top rating you can get is a superior, which is the highest rating, which was awarded to Tristan Wood and Ian Collins, who could not be here tonight. And then we have a very huge congratulations to Paige Jackson, who was a Thespi winner, which means that she scored a perfect score at the national level and performed in the National Musical Theater Showcase. We're very proud of this accomplishment. It is believed that Paige is our first Thespi winner at the national level. So that is what I have to share. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Tristan Wood, and my partner Ian Collins could not make it tonight, but we were the duet acting performance at ITF. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Paige Jackson. I performed the musical theater solo, and I had the honor of performing in the Thesby Showcase at International Thespian Conference. It was such a wonderful experience, and I just wanted to thank all of you for allowing us to go and perform and be a part of that wonderful experience. And I also wanted to thank our theater teacher, Miss Wendell, for everything that she has done to prepare and take us to this amazing place and just give us these wonderful experiences.
Right. No, nobody run away. I always try to get a couple things in. Is this your fourth year now or third year?
Up on my 5th year.
Or your fifth year?
Yes.
I see, I can't count. That's my problem. What you've accomplished with the talent that is inherent in Spring Hill is amazing. What you two have accomplished and what the board has done to make those national opportunities happen just shows what Spring Hill can do. And you know, as much as we're all proud of you, you all should be proud of yourself.
I know a number of us have been able to attend and see you both perform several times. And you guys, it's always so wonderful. And Miss Wendell, we are truly lucky to have you here. You really do a great job. I know it's a lot of hours for all of you putting in these productions, and it's really worth it. So we love getting to come and watch. So thank you guys so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, picture, or you want to say picture? Picture.
Seriously. Seriously.
Then you better stand right there in the middle. More like 700. That's like.
Parents, I promise. It's one of the things I'm best at is getting out of the way.
We worry about chins.
Yeah.
No, they're all there.
All right, last one. Thank you. Thank you.
Parents, thank you.
Thank you for all your support. Sorry.
Okay. The first discussion item, the Spring Hill Education Foundation flagpole project request.
Good evening. I apologize for not making eye contact with you guys, but there's points that I wanted to make, so I'm going to read them from my phone. But first, I'm going to ask you a question. If you've ever been to one of our football games on a Friday night with half of the rest of the town of Spring Hill and visiting families, and we go to play the national anthem, how many of you, like myself, have looked around and thought, where in the world is our flag? Now, it's fine.
We just discussed this, yeah.
Only see it when the wind is blowing above 30.
So it was about 12 years ago, 12 or 13 years ago, maybe not so much, when we built the stadium. And I was fortunate enough to serve on the Board of Education at the time. And I remember going to the first football game that night and thinking, what in the world have we done? And I called the superintendent the next day and have been fighting this battle ever since. So that being said, Good evening. My name is Nicholas Hunt. I'm here with Brittany Stewart, and we represent the Spring Hill Education Foundation. I'm excited to present an opportunity tonight that reflects what can happen when the community comes together to invest in our schools. The Spring Hill Education Foundation would love to donate a 70-foot flagpole to be installed at the Spring Hill High School Athletic Complex. We believe this will become a lasting landmark that reflects the pride our students, families, staff, and community have in Spring Hill schools. Will serve as a focal point during athletic events, graduations, and other special occasions, and stand as a visible reminder of the values that unite our community. I apologize. Before I go any further, I want to address what I know is one of the board's most important responsibilities, being good stewards of the district's resources. This project will come at no cost whatsoever to the Spring Hill School District. The Spring Hill Education Foundation has secured private funding specifically for this project through the generosity of the Knable Family Foundation. Their gift was made expressly for the purpose and is completely separate from any of the foundation's traditional fundraising activities. The Knable Family Foundation has a long history of investing in education, supporting veterans, and promoting patriotic initiatives that strengthen the community of Spring Hill. They saw this as an opportunity to partner with Spring Hill schools and leave a lasting legacy for future generations of students. I also want to be very clear that this project will not impact any of the Spring Hill Education Foundation's existing mission. No scholarship dollars will be used, no teacher grant fundings will be reduced, no foundation programs will be affected in any way. Our annual fundraising efforts will continue exactly as they always have, supporting students, teachers, and educational opportunities throughout the district. The project is only possible because we were able to secure private funding outside of our normal fundraising efforts. The foundation exists to enhance the educational experience for our students by creating opportunities that otherwise might not exist. Sometimes that means providing scholarships. Sometimes it means supporting teachers through classroom grants. And occasionally it means bringing together community partners who want to make a lasting investment in our schools. This is one of those opportunities. Flagpole certainly is a physical structure, but it also represents something greater. It serves as a symbol of unity, pride, service, sacrifice, and community. It will welcome every student, family, alum, and visitor who enters the athletic complex. It will remind us that our schools are strengthened not only by those inside the buildings every day, but also by community members who believe in investing in the next generation. We believe this project reflects the very best of what public-private partnerships can accomplish. A generous local family has stepped forward to make an investment in Spring Hill schools without creating any financial obligation for the district or its taxpayers. On behalf of the Education Foundation, I want to thank the board for your consideration this evening, and I look forward to answering any of your questions. And we would respectfully request at the next board meeting, because I know how this process works, that you guys would graciously approve our donation request.
First of all, can I say you had me at hello? No, so clearly I was part of the agenda meeting, right? So I knew this was going to make the agenda tonight. And, you know, it was part of our discussion. So maybe this is more for Mr. Williams than anyone, is timing. You know, season's right around the corner. Has there been any thought to the timing of being able to get this thing in time for the kickoff? First season,
yeah,
first kickoff.
Mr. Hall, I can answer that for you. So I'm working with a local Lenexa company, flagpole and light, or a sign and lighting company out of Lenexa, and I just received word today from them that the manufacturer does have the pole, and they can get it out of their factory by the 1st of September. And our stretch goal is to have this flagpole up and to raise the flag. It's a 12 by 18 foot flag. We want to raise the flag at the September 11th football game. And the company knows that, and we know that, and everybody that's involved is aware of that timeline. And the word I got today from our company that we're getting the flagpole from is that they know they can get the flagpole out of the factory in time. It will all be dependent on freight, on getting it transported. It's either going to come from Virginia or Texas. And so as soon as they can get it on a truck and get it up here, they'll have all the installation and everything. And they are working diligently to help us reach that deadline. The plan B would be that we still have a presentation that night at the football game, and we thank the Knable Family Foundation for their donation to cover it, and then and announce that we're going to have it dedicated or raise the flag for the first time on Veterans Day.
And Again, for either you or Mr. Williams, is there any kind of permitting or anything that's required from the city of Spring Hill?
Out of respect for Mr. Williams, I told him he didn't have to talk tonight. I'd do all the talking for him.
Okay, so you know.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
so we have secured, we are handling 100% of the project. And so as far as the district is concerned and the board is concerned, this will be a gift in kind donation of the flagpole and all the installation, engineering and plant and permitting that goes with it. We've partnered with DLR architecture firm, and they are working directly with our flagpole company to gather all the stamped and engineered plans. We'll be submitting it to the city for a building permit. I did verify, Mr. Williams verified with the city that it is just a building permit. There's no extra oversight that needs to happen. It'll be a paper permit that we'll submit for with our engineered plans for the foundation of the flagpole. And I should receive those in the next couple of days from either DLR or the flagpole company themselves. Additionally, and I've talked to Mr. Williams about this, and this is still up for discussion amongst the district and the facilities. We talked about when the flagpole is raised and then we've installed the flag, as long as school is in session, we would love for it to fly 24/7. And we will be providing ground lighting for it. And then outside of that, the only thing that we need from the district facilities wise is just power. Either, I was talking to Kylie earlier, either from one of the light poles that are at the stadium or from the concession stand at the baseball stadium, whatever's closest. We just need power brought to the site, and then we'll handle everything else. So the ongoing burden to the district will just be maintaining the flag itself.
I just wanted to make sure you were done before I got crunchy. Thanks for coming in, because I'm a Goosebumps Friday Night Lights guy. You know, the community that this creates is what is special about Spring Hill. Because it's football and it's color guard and it's cheer and it's band and it's dance and it's everybody and it's all about it. So I'm all about it. Sounds like you're covering all the costs and make sure it's not going to fall over. So, you know, my only question is, you know, we couldn't have gone for the tallest flagpole in the state. You know, one that we have to put beacon light on so planes would fly around it.
I mean, yeah, we tried to stay under the FAA guidelines to have to put a red beacon light on it.
You know, I love it.
When we started talking about, so this project stemmed out of, like I said, however long ago when we built the stadium, I was gung ho from that side of the desk about it and just couldn't get it accomplished. And then when the I-35 Santa Fe interchange project got going, I remembered that there's a giant flagpole that from what used to be Perkins in Olathe. And so I actually called the city of Olathe and I said, hey, what are you guys doing with that flagpole? And they said, you can have it for free. All you have to do is come get it. And so I contacted Newkirk Novak at the time because I knew they were already knee deep in bond issues or bond projects with you guys. And I said, hey, can one of your guys go look at that flagpole and just see if it's worth it? And the transportation or the relocation costs for that used flagpole were going to be upwards of $15,000. And we still didn't even know if the flagpole mechanism worked. And just to give you an idea, this project start to finish is going to be about $41,000 all in for a brand new flagpole. So then we started talking about, you know, what you said, like we want it to be big enough to be a beacon and a symbol in the community, but not, I don't want people coming to our campus and saying, hey, welcome to our flagpole. All right. We want to, So the idea is that when you're coming from any different direction, I was driving in this evening and I thought when I got almost to the intersection, you should be able to see this flag just over the top of the press box coming from the west. You should, as soon as you clear this building, you'll be able to see it. As soon as you get past 191st Street, you should be able to start to see it coming from any direction. So that's the idea. And you're right, it impacts more than just football, baseball, softball, track, soccer, graduations, any event that happens on our campus. This will be a symbol that people will recognize.
Yeah, no, good.
And truly, anytime you're driving down 199th, which I do remember coming through Santa Fe, and as you came up over the the hill, you could see the giant flag. And I was just thinking recently how much I missed it. So that it's going to be right here.
Well, that
I'm going to get
flagpole,
past this one a whole lot more.
that flagpole was almost ours.
Yeah, that's really amazing. So thank you.
And just a quick question too, because I think the current flagpole, it's not even taller than the goalpost, is it?
No,
No, it's not.
I think
That's what
it's
I thought.
standard. And that's just a product of when we were in the middle of the project, and Mark, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when we were in the middle of that project of $150 billion or whatever it ended up costing, we were spending an extra $50,000 every week on different turf. The flagpole was just hey, we need a flagpole. Let's put a flagpole in, and that was it. So no fault of anybody's. It just, we checked the box for a flagpole for that project.
Yeah. And then the only thing I have to add, and you know me, I always have to, it's, it is going to cost the district once we grow to second school size, we'll have to put in a flagpole as big there. So there will be an economic impact, but it's a civic impact as well. And I think it's well worth doing.
Well, I can commit to you
years from now.
I can commit to you that if I'm still on the Education Foundation at the time, I will do my best to get it funded as well.
I appreciate that.
One last thing, if you guys don't have any more questions, one more thing that the district does need to do is we do need to remove that flagpole before the installation of the new one.
Yeah.
And so if anybody's looking for a new 30-foot flagpole, or if the district has a spot they want to put it, we do need the district or somebody to disassemble or take that one out so that the site is ready for a new installation.
Yeah, one additional question, and it really has to do with us and whether or not there really needs to be any additional discussion. But the big question for you is timing. Do you have enough cushion padding to wait until our next meeting to make this official? Or should we put it on the action item list tonight? I'm asking, I'm just throwing it out.
I'll be honest with you, I was operating under the assumption that it'll be approved at the next meeting, and I was going to move forward with that assumption in mind.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
I just have to say one thing really quick. I don't have a question, but I just want to thank you for your work on this. And I also want to say thank you to the Knable Foundation for this generous donation, because this is going to be really great for our whole Spring Hill district as a whole and our campus at our high school. So thank you to them. I know I don't see any of them here, but
Kat wasn't able to make it tonight, but she did. I did ask her if it was okay if we recognized them as the donors at this meeting. But I know we have a lot of things planned, special for that football game already, and one of them will be dedicating the flagpole or the project and recognizing them publicly at this football game on September 11th.
great. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Sources of Strength program.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm here to introduce Amy Michael, Katie George, and Carrie Rodden to talk about the adoption of the Sources of Strength program at Spring Hill High School.
Hi, I'm Katie George. I'm one of the high school counselors. Sorry, I'm a little out of practice. It's been summer break until tomorrow morning. Okay, today the three of us are here to talk about proposing the Sources of Strength program. We first learned about this a few years ago, and finally I've had the opportunity to become more educated and wanted to share that with you this evening. So today we are excited to share with you the program overview and implementation plan and cost details for our new initiative. We'll be sharing the steps we plan to take, but also how we plan to allocate our resources effectively. This is a significant opportunity for our school to enhance educational experiences and support structures for our students. Our goal is to ensure a smooth implementation that maximizes benefits and minimizes cost. So I will introduce Ms. Michael, our student support advocate, who will talk to you a little bit more about the mental health aspect of the program.
Good evening. As we all know, student mental health and well-being are critical to our students' academic success, but also the overall safety and climate of our school. In response to the increasing mental health needs among our students, we are proposing the implementation of Sources of Strength program at Spring Hill High School. The program is a nationally recognized upstream prevention model that is designed to foster mental wellness, reduce the risk of suicide, and enhance the positive climate of our school environment. Right now, Sources of Strength is currently active in 22 area middle and high schools. We've had a similar program, PALS, known as the Natural Helpers when it was first established in the 1990s. And the PALS program was a huge asset to Spring Hill High School and has trained generations of students over the years. Unfortunately, the cost of running PALS has increased as training has increased, travel and lodging has increased as well. PALS is an excellent peer helping model, but it primarily impacts the students that have direct relationships with the peer helpers. Sources of Strength trains peer leaders to influence the entire student culture. It strengthens the protective factors that lower the overall risk of suicide, substance use, bullying, and other mental health concerns across the entire student body. The goal shifts from helping just a few students at a time to creating a positive climate where everybody is exposed to the protective messages. Sources of Strength would work alongside of Zero Reasons Why, which is a Johnson County student-led initiative that empowers the youth advocates to lead mental health awareness in their schools and communities.
Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit more, just a general overview of the program. Just kind of full disclosure, the three of us are pretty new to the program and learning about it from Johnson County Mental Health, who will be helping us implement the program if we are approved. So just kind of a little bit of background about it. This program empowers both peer leaders and caring adults by fostering connections, hope, and strength. So it's not just about responding to crises. That's the upstream part of it, is that it's literally upstream. It's before the crises happen. It's prevention rather than intervention or postvention, which are still things that we would definitely respond to in the counseling office. But this would be something positive as a prevention model. The approach is evidence-based. There were several slides at the end that we didn't include that talked about the research that has been done about sources of strength that are actually very intriguing if you're interested in any of that information, some of the case studies that they've done particularly on the effectiveness of this program. A couple of really unique notes about this. It has been featured on the Today Show, NPR, and Time Magazine. The CEO of Sources of Strength was actually recently featured in 2025 as one of the top 100 influential people in health, which I thought was pretty cool. It will help our student body as a whole develop those really important skills of grit and resilience, and all of those, and grace, and all of those awesome things that we need in the 21st century. All of those things, I think that Miss Michael and I spend a lot of days kind of pondering how can we work with our students in that manner. Sources of Strength uses a strength-based approach, so it kind of hones in on those natural skills and those natural things that our students have or that they already do. So it's not introducing brand new things. It's just sort of honing in on those and helping them figure out how they can explore those in their environment and how can they brainstorm and kind of crowdsource together. We did actually use a little bit of this program during 2020, during COVID times and things like that. They provided a lot of free materials, so we were able to kind of see some of the different things that they had available. So I thought that was some really cool stuff, that it's not all brand new stuff. It's stuff they already do. It's just recognizing that. Okay. So how do we get it started? So Miss Michael, Mrs. Rodden and I all met with Johnson County Mental Health last spring and talked with them and learned a little bit more about how this would look if we were to gain approval to implement it. A little background, Mrs. Rodden and I have been running our PALS program for a few years, like 25-ish. And so a lot of the premises are very, very similar. So we have some experience in how we would do this. So it would be very similar, and we'd be able to develop and use some of those tricks of the trade that we've already done. So our very first step is the first step, which is a good place to start, and that is gaining awareness and buy-in. So that's what we're doing. We've presented it to Mr. Cost, and I think he has bought in. He's up here supporting us. We have also talked with our district administrators and how we would do that, and now we are here bringing it to you. So it starts with a protocol review. We talk about handling how we already handle distressed students. Ms. Michael is instrumental in that, as well as the rest of our counseling staff and how we already do that. We already have our annual suicide prevention training, the Jason Flat Act stuff that we do every single year, and the constant looking over our suicide prevention manual. And then our next step would be, if approved, is kind of after the school year gets rolling, mid-September, we would start working on selecting our adult advisors. So we under the assumption that would be the three of us. And then we would kind of look at the staff and look at some of those staff members that already naturally have those skills, potentially the other counselors. It could be any staff member though. So it could be teachers, but it could be a secretary, a custodian, it could be whomever already kind of has those natural abilities with our students. And then we would start selecting our students. One of their suggestions, which is similar to what we would do with our PALS program, is look at, suggested to go down to the lunchroom and look at every lunch table and find an individual that represents a kid at every lunch table, which is similar to what we do with PALS, is we try to get all the different subgroups that we know that is at our high school. We would have a smallish ratio, as small as possible, to enhance the effectiveness. So we would recruit them and then we would train them. We are lucky, this is a national program, but Johnson County Mental Health has gone through and continually keeps up their train the trainer program. And so they provide the trainers for us, and they would come on site kind of wherever we determine is the space and the date and the time for a day training. So they train students all day long and they train staff for half the day. And then after that, after we do our training, we are continually working with them for support. But then we would meet probably monthly. We have some different times. We would probably try to meet at different times, like in the morning, in the afternoon, maybe during our targeted seminar time, things like that, because of different kids and different schedules. And we know how difficult it is to get them all at the same time. And that's where we work on our campaign things together and discuss that. And we would have our leaders, but we would also have our leaders kind of connecting with their subgroups to generate ideas. And like I said before, we have the continual support that we have been assured from Johnson County Mental Health, and we have already been in contact with some of the area schools. And again, it's a national program, so I have already followed several different groups on Instagram from across the nation. So again, this has been, so it's really kind of cool to kind of see how mental health obviously is not isolated to just Spring Hill, Kansas. It's across the nation. And so looking at what some different schools do and generating ideas from that. No, it's still your job. Very important. Oh, no, that's still me. Sorry. It's still summer until 7:45 tomorrow morning. Okay, a little bit more. So Sources of Strength promotes peer-to-peer messaging. So it is student-driven. It's not adults saying, this is what you should do. It's peers saying, this is what works for me, what could work for you, kind of thing. This is what I do. This is how I deal with that sort of stressor. It's flexible, but they also give you tons of resources. I've seen the binder of resources that they give you, and it's thick, which is very, very good. And again, I've already mentioned they will be able to share creative efforts by looking at what some of their peers are doing across the nation. And again, we will have the ongoing support. And Johnson County Mental Health is absolutely fantastic. We are very, very lucky to have them in our community, and they are very, very available. So anytime that we have called to reach out to them for any purpose, they've then gotten back to us very quickly. So we are assured that we will have their support.
Okay. So probably your first question is, how much does this cost? This Sources of Strength charges a fee of $750, and that will allow us to implement their resources and give us licensing. However, fortunately, Johnson County Mental Health does cover that cost, so it will not cost the district anything other than staff time. So that is a bonus. In addition to that, the district, we will receive a $500 stipend once we complete the training, and that will allow us to buy new resources or use the money towards the different ideas and campaigns that the students come up with. And then she had mentioned campaigns, and these are just ideas that the students come up with to really try to unite the student body and that they feel like would be the best for our school. So here are a few ideas or that other districts have implemented. But the students that are selected and are part of this program, they will come up with different ideas that would best benefit our student body. Reminding students that they're not alone. And some of these activities, winter bingo, and it just has students, it's, reaching out to others, kindness, and then remembering self-care and that sort of thing. The thankful turkey, and then the handout on the right, what helps me, just different coping mechanisms that students can utilize. And again, not just the students that are a part of this program, this will be for the whole student body. And we just briefly discussed how would we get these, resources to them, advisory, lunch, different targeted seminar, different things like that. And like Mrs. George mentioned, she and I have been part of the PALS program, Natural Helpers program, for 25 years. And seeing what the students can come up with and their ideas of how to help their peers is pretty cool. And they really take pride in it. And I think that this would be a good addition to our schools. So thank you. Are there any questions? I'm going to let you jump up here too.
You go ahead and go.
Okay, yeah, because thanks, John.
Everybody wants to go.
Yeah, okay. The segue there was perfect because you used the word schools plural, right? And so my question is really, in our approach to CTE and other programs that we have where we kind of, we press this down into the middle schools, right? 7th, 8th grade. Is there anything in this program that's already been deployed that kind of
to join the to have the middle schools on
Yeah,
board? Absolutely.
the plan, right?
Yeah. That I think that is the long-term plan, or at least the vision that we have. One of the problems with PALS, they've always kind of wanted to join in with the PALS peer helping program that we had. That was a little tougher because that was a retreat that we took our kids on. The expense wise would have been large for all of the middle schools, in addition to middle schoolers for 2 nights overnight. A little tougher than our grown-up children. So this definitely, and when Ms. Michael mentioned all of the 20, I think it's 22 Johnson County schools, a big chunk of those are middle schools. So it is already happening at middle schools across the nation. So that'll be a very, very easy. I don't think that we'll start there maybe this year, kind of see what it looks like for us so we can model it for them and then get them in the loop for sure.
And so maybe it sounds like not a retreat quite like PALS does, but will you still select a group of students to kind of train and hone in on, will that be each year or is it?
Yeah, it'll be each year. And I think because there won't be a cost portion of it in an overnight kind of retreat, I think that we can have it be a much larger portion of the kids.
That's great.
So it'll be easier choosing for one. We'll still want to keep it kind of to what we can handle and make sure that everybody's kind of being able to be reached and having the adults that are willing to help. But I think it'll be less limiting than it has been.
Right.
Okay, so thank you for the presentation. Before I share my thoughts, I want to acknowledge that conversations around mental health are deeply important for many and very personal. So I think we all share the same goal here in wanting students to be safe and supported and connected. But with that in mind, I do have quite a few questions, and I don't know if you'll be able to answer them tonight. Because I know you said you're just kind of getting information on this. And that's okay if you don't have the answers. I'm happy to wait for those. But first thing is, did that PALS program, did that start out as a free program, or is that something that we've always paid for in our district?
To be totally honest, that program started before Carrie and I were here.
Okay.
It started in the 90s when we were still in high school ourselves. And so no, I don't think that it ever started out as free. No, I
Okay.
think it's always been, it has evolved. It was originally a natural helpers program. There's always been a cost associated with it simply because it was always the premise of that program was taking kids off campus to a retreat for a few days. And so a large cost of it was the cost of lodging, travel, and that sort of thing. It transitioned into the PALS program when the natural helpers kind of stopped evolving. It became just, we were putting in VHSs for our training. And so when they stopped making new curriculum, and that's when we transitioned to the PALS program, which is a program out of Texas. And we brought in a speaker for that. Absolutely wonderful, fantastic fellow, very dynamic. And then there was cost associated with that because you had to fly him in.
So is kind of the reason why you're moving to this one is because there's no cost involved and we're just trying to eliminate that?
A little bit of that. I think that this program is a little bit more, will involve more students rather than, it's more of a prevention program that for the entire school. The peer helper program was fantastic, but it was a little bit limited that we would train those 30 kids. They would have those peer helping skills, and then they would go off and have those skills and help their subgroups. Which was really fantastic. When we were a school of 450, it became a little bit more difficult to see that work. It was working, but maybe not having the impact that we thought with the school of 1120. And we also had learned about this. We were the only school in Kansas, I believe, that had the PALS program. It's very popular in Texas, whereas the Sources of Strength is very popular in Kansas, especially in Johnson County.
Okay. And you may not be able to answer this, but I'd kind of like clarification on like the long-term cost and commitment, because a lot of times, these programs are offered for free at the start and then they get put in our schools and then.
Right.
So do you know the long-term plan there?
I don't, other than I know that they've been able to have this grant for many years already. So hopefully that continues. And I do think as long as Johnson County Mental Health is in existence, they will hopefully work for that. That is their whole goal. So I can't promise that because I just don't know. But I felt confident when we talked with the director that this would be kind of a long-term thing. And even so, it is not a large expense as compared to some of the other programs that we've seen. It's still fairly affordable.
Sure.
So
yeah, that's fair. Okay. So more about the program itself. So what happens if a student shares something on a more serious nature with a peer leader? Okay. What is the protocol and who is notified when that happens?
Right. They will be 100% trained on that, just like they were with PALS about what to do in that kind of situation. And it's the trusted adult. I think all of our kids are trained in that naturally anyway, and some of the different social emotional things that they're taught, but that will be the procedure that if they divulge something, they are taught, see something, say something. And so then they would go to their trusted adult. And then that eventually trickles down most likely into our office. And so our 3 counselors will be involved. And then obviously Miss Michael, who is our mental health expert in that. And so she would be involved in that as well.
Okay. Are parents notified when the student participates
for our
in this
protocol
program, and are they able to opt out if this is something that they don't want their child to be a part of? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. And you had mentioned that there is evidence. I would love to see that.
I have.
Yes. So I'm sad you left it off the slides because that was one of my questions I had. I was like, I really want to see.
Yeah, for sure. And their website, Sources of Strength, is absolutely loaded with their evidence. I did have some slides on it, and it was encouraged maybe to leave those off for brevity. But definitely I can share that information.
Yes, please do. Because I would.
I'm a former science teacher, so I was very excited about the evidence.
Yeah. Good. I want to see that too. So, okay. Well, I just want to make sure that we're looking at the full picture.
Yeah.
So thank you for answering all of those questions. And I just want to make sure that, what our long-term responsibilities are and the boundaries and the overall impact of implementing this type of a program, because it sounds like it's a lot. So if you don't mind, send me that stuff. I think that's all the questions
I'd like to add to, you asked what if somebody has a problem that's bigger than them, what they do.
Yes.
We also focus on the students taking care of themselves first too. And so, so they are able to be a good peer helper. And so that all is incorporated. It's kind of like a full encompasses all of those skills.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other takers before I tee off?
I'll just say real quick, after hearing Mr. DeWeese speak a couple times in the last few months and being friends with a few people on that the Johnson County Mental Health Advisory Board, that I'm really excited to see this partnership and encouraged to see you guys working together with them. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited too. It's kind of fun to be the small Johnson County school, get to do the big Johnson County things sometimes.
Evening.
Hi.
How's everybody doing?
We're good.
All right, we'll try to stay on the happy and positive side and maybe address some of the things. Because I'm sure, as Mr. Cost has reminded everybody before we came in here, that my daughter committed suicide on March 30th. So, the first thing I'm going to acknowledge is that no matter what we do, it'll never be enough for some. And with that said, I'm going to make this comment, and it's not directed at you. We don't do enough. I am a walking advertisement. My pain and the pain of other parents and my wife and my children kind of lays bare how inadequately the state of Kansas approaches this issue. They're currently working right now under a grant to study what programs should be done. We are fortunate in our area that we aren't affected by it as much as other areas. I appreciate the comments and concerns about cost, but I will tell you what you have proposed, and I don't mean this in a I'm disappointed in you way. I can tell you it's not enough, but I appreciate that you're doing what you're doing. The Sources of Strength program is absolutely a positive step forward to go. My questions would be, and as related to mental health education, are we addressing this curriculum? Is there a curriculum side partnership to what is coming through in the Sources of Strength? Does this match with curriculum that we have in the classroom currently?
It maybe would support that. It's not necessarily curriculum in that it's in a required classroom type of thing.
And that's kind of where I'm going, which is this is hopefully should be the companion and the practical exercise of what is being taught in the classroom. That's really the question. I'm looking at Mr. Cost now. Is this supporting what we're doing already as part of curriculum?
I think that it's a first step, like Mrs. George had said, there's not a curriculum specific to a class. Mental health and well-being are topics that come up in advisory through our social emotional learning, but I think this would be a good first step as we kind of navigate some of those things going forward.
Okay, so it sounds like what you're saying is that this will help and better inform so we can have a conversation around inclusion of mental health in our curriculum, since the state of Kansas and the Department of Education has failed to do so. That sounds like a great positive first step in being an example to the rest of the state. Because I'll tell you, so I recently attended an event, again, this consulting firm who's operating under this grant for Kansas Department of Health is coming in and asking people, what do we do about mental health? There were 14 people in the room. 5 of us were parents of deceased children. Our stories are strikingly similar. That by and large, these are kids who aren't what we think of as the child who would commit suicide. These are high achieving, well-liked kids commit suicide just as much as students who struggle socially or academically or with substances or anything. This is an issue that affects every single parent at Spring Hill Schools. And this is my acknowledgement in my failure to my child. And I'll be damned if I let it happen to any of the other ones that I'm responsible for. So there's more to go along with that, and I look forward to continued conversations. With all deference to the questions, mental health is not something that we can wait on. It is not something that we can go, hey, maybe we can do something about it tomorrow. So, Madam President, I'm going to make a motion to amend the agenda. I'm going to move to amend the agenda to move sources of strength to action item 2 this evening.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any other conversation or questions? Can we go ahead and jump to that one, or do we need to?
You'll need to vote on the amending of the agenda.
Okay, so we need to go ahead and vote on that, and then we'll hit the sources of strength when
Yeah.
we get to it in the.
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Henderson, will you please collect the vote?
Mrs. Coleman Martinet,
Yes.
Mr. Hole,
Yes.
Mr. Beecham,
Yes.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
approved.
Thank you. I don't think often as high school educators, you guys get any immediate gratification or somebody says, hey, that was awesome. I hope that you guys going through these programs, PALS, Natural Helpers, and now Sources of Strength, you guys get some of that gratification in your day because you are actively giving children the tools that they need, not only for their well-being, but those around them. So thank you guys for what you're doing. We'll vote on this here in just a little bit, but you guys have a great night. And we're going to take a quick 5-minute recess because that was a little bit, and we'll be back. Okay. If folks want to start circling back. We're still missing a. And there's one. There's 5 of us. Okay, moving on to the last discussion item of the night, the 2026 summer projects update. Mr. Delphia.
Yep, good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to come up here and speak about summer projects that we did over the summer that are still ongoing. If you follow Friday updates, none of this should be a surprise to you. It's kind of the same stuff I've been putting in there, but so I'll start here at the Early Childhood Center. This is really simple. We've updated all the ceiling tiles in the classrooms. We pulled staff from Spring Hill Elementary School and Spring Hill Middle School that were displaced due to all the construction work going on and used them to do this work. So it is all completely finished and it looks a lot nicer. So if you get an opportunity to go over there, check it out. It looks great. And then here, Early Childhood Center again, the Nioplast inlet install. So we got the catch basins installed. That's going to catch all the runoff from the hillside there, and it's going to take it north along the facility. So we shouldn't have any more flooding in the classrooms along that side, which is a good thing. The only one thing we do still have to do is do some waterproofing between the foundation and the precast concrete walls, which we'll get to here really soon. That's the only thing left there. And then Early Childhood Center again, settling repairs. This is in the northeast corner of the facility. There was that large void underneath there. We filled that void with the polyjack concrete. So we've stabilized the affected area. And we also removed the two large oak trees out there that were contributing to the issues. So all we have left there to do is some cosmetic repairs to the outside of the building and inside. That's probably going to take a while. It may linger into next summer while we're doing those cosmetic repairs. Prairie Creek Elementary School. You see, I took an aerial photo there of the new playground. So all the old playground set was removed. New playground set has been installed, and we're currently waiting on the pour-in-place surface to be installed. That is going to start this week. It should take about 4 or 5 days to get completed. And then once that's done, the project will be completely finished. We'll just have to do a little bit of dirt work over here on the east side and potentially sod or seed that area that had that disturbed soil there. We did have a change order come through on that, which you'll see in the expense report. Similar to the addition that we did on Prairie Creek Elementary School, we ran into a bunch of rock. And there was just a ton here, and it cost us about, I think it's a little over 11. I think it was 11,790. You'll see it on the expense report, but they had to get special equipment in to break the rock up, additional dumpsters, additional man hours and things like that. So Prairie Creek Elementary School, the front office reconfiguration. If you get a chance, stop in there and see the reconfiguration that we did there. Thanks to Newkirk Novak for putting all the contractors in place to get that done in such a timely manner. And it looks a whole lot better, and it'll be better for the staff there to see who's actually coming into the building. So Spring Hill High School, the fire alarm upgrades, that is still ongoing. We did get all the drawings done. They were submitted to the city of Spring Hill, submitted to Kansas State Fire Marshal. They were approved. And now they are currently putting in the new fire alarm. They did take the old one out today, and they've got the new one up. And so they'll have to wire it all in. It could be about a week and a half's worth of work to get it finished. So, but it will be finished before school starts. And then Spring Hill High School again, Performing Arts Center sound system upgrades. They are currently, they're working. They will have the hardware completed this week, and they will have some wiring and some other things to tend to after that. They will have the sound system up and going for the ceremony, the opening ceremony. But there will still probably be some pending items they need to do after that, but they assured we would have the opening ceremony. They will have a person on staff from Smart Pro to do the ceremony and make sure everything goes off well. Spring Hill High School again, science room flooring upgrades. If you remember last year, we did 4 science rooms on the east side of the building. We removed all the VCT tile and did a polished concrete. It looks a lot nicer. It's easier to maintain. We did the other 4 on the west side, and that is a picture of what that looks like. Looks a lot nicer, and again, it'll be easier to maintain. Spring Hill High School again, we upgraded the auxiliary gym lighting, and that's a picture of it finished. Much brighter in there. Would be much better for students and activities going on in there. And then on the expense report, you'll see an additional charge for $400. We just had them go over to the wrestling room and retrofit some LEDs into some of the lights that are out there. So that's what that's about. And then Spring Hill High School track resurfacing. If you've drove by, you've seen all the plastic up everywhere. They are working on that currently. They got everything sealed. They're planning to put the first coat of track material down tomorrow, and then they'll do an additional coat. They should be completed by this Friday with the track itself, but the striping will come at a later time. So we'll figure that out. I don't have a timeline on that yet, but I will definitely update everybody on Friday updates and timeline. And then district-wide, it's something we do every year: parking lot maintenance, concrete repairs, painting, cosmetic improvements, general preventative maintenance. So, and I just want these next 2 slides, I want to thank our facilities and grounds. They've done a phenomenal job working this summer. They've got a lot of stuff done, and I want to give kudos to them. And then similarly on the next slide, the custodial staff. They've done a phenomenal job too of getting everything prepared. We still have a lot of work to do at Spring Hill Elementary and Spring Hill Middle School to clean. So we've got a lot of our staff over there teaming up to get that ready for school to start. So while all the schools that didn't have construction going on are pretty much complete, we've got a lot of work there at those 2 schools, and even the new additions. Still a lot of work to do there, but this is my favorite photo of that floor. It looks like glass. They do such a phenomenal job, and it looks great. So, and then there's the expense report. I did attach a separate attachment on there because I wasn't sure how good it would show up here, but our budgeted amount we had was $1,380,000, and currently we're at $1,009,960.21, which is $370,039.79 under budget, which is good. Happy to see that we're under budget. We've done a bunch of other work, like I said, with other maintenance items and things like that. And I will put together a full list of everything we've done at every school, the cost of that, and I'll put that in our Friday update so you can see it, the cost of everything. And I'll also update this expense report in Friday updates as we get everything finalized. So, and that is all I have. Any questions?
Comments from the peanut gallery, or at least I'm the peanut gallery. It's great to see Prairie Creek get on par with all of our other facilities, both outside and, reconfiguring the front office. It just, the flow and, the visibility for staff to see who's coming and going is so important for building security. So that's super, super awesome. I was curious on Sheila on the mud jack. Did we end up having to mess with the roof at all with the mud jack happening afterwards, or
We did.
everything still looked all good? And
Yep, everything looked all good.
that's the only question I had. And great job on not exceeding your not to exceed number. I love that.
Thank you.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
So for the playground, I don't know if this has to be separate or is just a thought, but is that the only light pole that's on the playground that's gonna be there? One that's like the cement regular light pole?
It will be.
I was just curious because of how close it is to the playground, if we've thought about some sort of like padding that goes around that. Because if a kid goes down that slide or something like that, or they're playing with this spinny thing right here and they hit their head on that cement block.
Okay, we can look into
Just
that.
curious, like, because eventually, like, I'm hoping, like, looking at what we can do for like all the playgrounds. But for right now, I was like, if that's the only light pole, what would it be like to have some sort of padding around that cement?
So Kylie, at
Mhm.
Timber Stage, there is padding around all those because that actually did happen. There were some boys playing football and a kid hit his head and it was not good. So there is padding around all of those. That's like a purple and it goes up and
Yep.
so I'm assuming you would just do something similar to that. On
Yeah,
all of
that's
those.
what we would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was part of that.
Oh, yeah.
They were playing kickball and using those as bases. And so,
Well, and I can
Well-
tell you right now at Prairie Creek, that one is third base for kickball.
So it needs
Okay.
padding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
just, yeah.
Yeah, I
just-
was actually at the playground one night where the kids were playing flag football.
oh, and
And yes.
it
and-
happened more than once.
Yes.
It happened, I think, 3 times in total. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and on that, visual cues to it as well. Didn't we end up painting something over at Shees when we put in those rails on didn't we curb paint too?
we did. Yep.
To
We
get,
did a safety
to give,
yellow.
kind of like a warning track in baseball, having the, stripe it so they, when they have their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did want to say one more thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead.
The lighting in the auxiliary gym is so great. My kids were practicing in there at the beginning of the summer and it was, yeah, it's so much better now. So thank you for that.
Yep. You're welcome.
And to your whole crew, Kylie, I say it every year, right? It's just amazing to me the work that they do to get these buildings to look like they're brand new on the inside. It's just unbelievable. And then the other shout out I want to give is to Newkirk Novak, right? With Prairie Creek, I mean, I pass by that thing 6 times a day, all around it, right? All the roads all around it. And I can tell you from observing the activity that took place with the addition over there, those guys are just a class act all the way. I mean, they have basically left that place in better condition than it was when they started, which is just unbelievable to me on a construction project.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Circling back to the Spring Hill Elementary School asphalt for the playground, Mr. Williams.
Hi, good evening. So back in June, Mr. Delphi and I were asked if there was equity across the elementary schools when it came to asphalted play surfaces. We're very much aware that the addition for Spring Hill Elementary School went on to part of their playground, asphalted play surfaces that they had there. So credit to Mr. Delphi. He figured that at Spring Hill Elementary School, we were about 9,000 square feet short when it came to asphalted play surfaces. Working with Newkirk and Call Valley Engineering, if you look at the map, it's a little bit hard. I apologize because the lines are red. But if you look just south of the sidewalk and just west of the playground, you'll see a red box. That is 9,000 square feet for a proposed asphalted play surface for the students. This has been approved by Mrs. Endicott, and she has signed off on this and said that this will work out well for her staff and for her students. Our initial investment quote we were given to us was $110,000 to do this. Credit to Newkirk Novak. They kept on working with the three companies that have won our bids for the elementary projects, and they got them to come down to $87,000 to do the project. Mid-States would do the site excavation, Barclay would do the asphalt pouring, and then Lithco would do the additional concrete. This is going to be a little bit more difficult to see, but if you have the red box and you have the connection to the playground, there's a little triangle of grass between the sidewalk, the red box, and the playground. That is where the concrete will go to tie it together with the play surface and the playground with that. So right now in our contingency for our 3 elementary projects, we still have a little over $301,000. So we can definitely use some contingency money to pay for this project if the board would like to move forward with the asphalt at Spring Hill Elementary School.
Mr. Williams, number one, I appreciate everybody taking a look at this because it's been in my craw for some time. My only kind of comment on the plan is when you look at the existing play surface and then the location of this play surface, you basically, you make a triangle where the kids are just going to go through that dirt repeatedly and tear it up.
Yep.
And so my comment would be, unfortunately, to add a little bit more cost to bring that, what is the southeast corner back out where it makes that small. I'm sorry, kids aren't going to walk down in a military line and take a right face and then do a left.
So, yeah, I know what section you're talking about.
Let's do ourselves a favor now.
Talk to Newkirk Novak about that tomorrow and see what we can do.
I'd make teachers happy proactively is my opinion.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
This was on the consent agenda. We moved it to discussion. Do we need to move it as an action item? Do you need action on this tonight?
I think with that price, when I told you on some Friday updates, I would like to get permission from the board to move forward on this project. So if you could take action on it, that would be great. Newkirk Novak's willing to work with us on any time frame to get this constructed. So, I mean, but if we were able to move forward with it after I visit with them tomorrow, that would help out tremendously too.
So, so we made a motion and understanding the scope may change slightly so we can put a little bit on a not to exceed number. What do we, sorry, I'm going to look at Kylie and, well, I don't know, maybe your estimating skills, if, come another 10 grand. Not to exceed 110?
Yeah.
That's what you want? Okay. Madam President, I make a motion to add an action item. That'll be 3, approval of not to exceed $110,000 for paving at Spring Hill Elementary School.
We have a motion
A second.
and a second. Any other conversation to amending the agenda? Okay, Mrs. Henderson, will you please collect the vote?
Mr. Hull,
Yes.
Mr. Beecham,
Yes.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman Martinet. Yes. Approved.
Okay, thank you so much. Moving down to action items, the first action item is the crisis management plan for 26-27.
Madam President, I move to approve the crisis plan for 26-27.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
And a second. Any other conversation or questions? Okay, Mrs. Henderson, please collect the vote.
Mr. Beecham,
Yes.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman Martinet. Yes. Mr. Hull,
Yes.
approved.
Great. Next action item is the Sources of Strength program for the Spring Hill School District.
Madam President, I move to approve Sources of Strength program as presented.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second. Any other conversation or questions?
Just one quick question on that one, since we did move it forward a little bit. We typically see a recommendation on this sort of thing, so I just want to clarify, Dr. Luttrell, do you recommend approval of this?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Okay. Mrs.
I'd
Hen-
still like to see the data though.
Okay, I think she was in, so.
From Katie.
Yeah. Okay, Mrs. Henderson, will you please click the vote?
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman Martinet,
Yes.
Mr. Hole,
Yes.
Mr. Beecham,
Yes.
approved.
And last action item for the night, the asphalt additions for the Spring Hill Elementary School playground.
Madam President, I move to appropriate not to exceed $110,000 for asphalt improvements at Spring Hill Elementary School.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a tie for second? No.
Oh.
Any more conversation or questions?
So same question on that because it is approximately a 20% increase.
Yes. Yes, I do think that's needed and we definitely have the funds for it.
Okay, Mrs. Henderson, please collect the vote.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman Martinet,
Yes.
Mr. Hole,
Yes.
Mr. Beecham,
Yes.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
approved.
Great. Board work calendar.
Yeah, the board work calendar coming up, we've got meetings on the 27th. No, I'm sorry, August 10th, and then the I think it's around the 24th. The big items on those that we'll need to be looking forward, to hearing is, do we definitely have the budget hearing coming up at the August one, and then the September meeting. Early one will be the revenue neutral as well as the actual budget hearing. And we'll be getting those notices. So, but again, those are some of the big items that we have in the next few meetings. The one on the we'll also be getting some information at some point to you as to how we're going to be approaching the student device committee because we're up for that this year. We know it's on the calendar to bring it to you, I think, for a formal recommendation sometime at October. But we'll give you some information either in discussion or through the Friday update as to what that committee is going to be comprised of and what some of the tasks that they're going to be working on in the next few months as we get that big recommendation ready to bring forth.
Great, thank you. And moving to the superintendent's report.
Preparations continue for our upcoming school year. We said earlier tonight, our new teachers will actually begin on August the 5th, which is a little over a week from now. They'll have 3 full days of orientation, and they will get that completed before all of our returning staff, certificated staff, will return on Tuesday, August the 11th. That's will be our annual opening ceremony morning at the high school, and we'll be giving more information out on that in your Friday update as well as to when the doors will open and breakfast and the actual ceremony will begin. It's always a great time to have everybody back together after being away for the summer and kind of setting the stage for our new school year. And then, of course, right from that, we will then follow into our first student attendance day. For most all grade levels is set for then almost a week later on Monday, August the 17th. So as Mr. Delphi has said, we've got a lot going on to get ready, but we are going to definitely be ready to welcome all of our students and staff in just a few weeks. That's my superintendent's report.
Great. I can't believe you said in just a few weeks, but here we are. Okay, moving to executive session.
Madam President, I move that the board go into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel to protect the privacy interests of an identified individual under coma. Those to be in session include Board of Education members and administrators as requested.
And
Council.
The executive session to begin.
And council.
And council. The executive session to begin at 7:30. And with the open meeting resuming at 8 at this place.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any other question or conversation? Okay, Mrs. Henderson.
Mrs. Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman Martinet,
Yes.
Mr. Hole,
Yes.
Mr. Beecham,
Yes.
Mrs. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood,
Yes.
approved.
I move to extend executive session 15 minutes.
Second.
Mr. Hull?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Chitwood?
Yes.
Mr. Beecham?
Yes.
Approved.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you all so much.
The two seconds.